Hey, what's up, crypto community? In this video, I just want to share this article with you all. So I thought this was pretty interesting. And yeah, so let's take a read through this here together, and then I'll just kind of share my thoughts on it. The staggering environmental cost of blockchain. With Bitcoin using more power than Czech Republic, are mined coins sustainable? Over the last couple of years, an argument has ensued regarding the amount of electricity that the Bitcoin network consumes to produce a coin and ensure the security of its network. Though the electricity itself may be inexpensive in some countries, the environmental cost to produce that needed electricity is building towards insurmountable proportions. I think climate change is a very serious issue that we're facing in the 21st century, and that it's important to invest in technologies that are energy efficient. Because that'll help stave off global warming, or at least keep it to levels that are sustainable. In recent testimony before the United States Senate Committee on Energy and Natural Resources, Arvind Narayanan stated that assuming all Bitcoin miners use the most energy efficient mining device available on the market, the total energy required by the Bitcoin network is slightly under 1% of world electricity consumption. The key to this figure being accurate is that every miner uses the most efficient mining hardware available all the time. While this is a great theory, it does not always follow through in practice. Therefore, it can be concluded that the calculations I'm not even going to try to say his name, provided are a best case scenario, and that the results are probably slightly worse than calculated. Corey Johnson's Ripple chief market strategist recently tweeted an infographic that shows the difference in energy consumption for BTC, ETH, Ethereum, and XRP networks. So you can see XRP is far lower in terawatts per hour than either Ethereum or Bitcoin. So this is great news, and this is significantly lower. The differences between the networks are visually apparent. BTC uses 68.81 terawatts per hour, terawatt hours per year, which is the equivalent energy consumption of the entire Czech Republic, versus XRP's use of 0.01 terawatt hours, which is the equivalent energy consumption of a small community in Arizona. Corey Johnson's statement is seen loud and clear. This matters. I definitely think it does. Like I said, climate change is a serious problem, and investing in technologies that are energy efficient is going to be very, very important. The major issue with Bitcoin energy consumption is that as long as the price of Bitcoin continues to rise, as some analysts expect, more individuals and companies will use even more mining hardware, which will require an ever-growing requirement for electricity. Many posit that blockchain and distributed ledger technology is in its infancy. Thus, it can be assumed that as the industry matures and more people become aware of its potential and deficiencies, more electric guzzling hardware will be added to the network, not less. Those in the industry have to ask a very important question behind the "this matters" statement. How much does this matter? How much carbon dioxide are we willing to pump into the atmosphere to produce electricity that is used to sustain a single digital network? The environmental stakes couldn't be higher. As seen in the infographic, the amount of energy consumption for the XRP ledger is significantly lower than those of Bitcoin and Ethereum. However, the network still leaves a carbon footprint that many would like to see non-existent. There may be no way to crib the amount of electricity used and carbon dioxide released into the atmosphere by the XRPL, but there is a way to offset all this CO2 released, allowing the XRPL to be considered carbon neutral: planting trees. So yeah, this is a very interesting idea here. At Wandering Bear has partnered with OneTreePlanted.org. I actually discussed this article in a previous video. I recommend that you go and check that one out as well, if this one doesn't cover all of it in depth. In an attempt to plant enough trees to offset the carbon output from the electricity production needed to operate the XRPL, One Tree Planted works with planting partners in North America, Latin America, Asia, and Africa to plant trees in areas that have been deforested. The trees that they plant help the local and global environment, and in some instances provide an income for families in the area if the trees planted bear fruits or nuts. One Tree Planted states that every 2 seconds a forest area the size of a football field is destroyed by human means. This equates to over 80,000 acres of trees and forest being cut, burned, or otherwise destroyed every day. This is a lot of trees and forests being cut down and burned, and I mean we need to keep a healthy planet. So it's just so important to invest in technologies that are energy efficient, and considering the fact that the world is becoming increasingly more technology based, I don't the best move, I think, is to invest in technologies that are energy efficient, because getting rid of technological products that's just not realistic in my mind. I don't see that happening. Technology is going to continue to advance, so it's very important that we do invest in those technologies that are that are, environment neutral. Through One Tree Planted, we as a global community have the opportunity to renew and revitalize our forests. As the XRP community, we can work together to offset the harmful effects of carbon dioxide emissions that stem from the use of the XRPL network. For every tree planted, 50 pounds, 22 kilograms of CO2 will be absorbed from the atmosphere every year. This means that to offset the carbon footprint of the XRPL, 427,273 trees will need to be planted. At $1 per tree, the XRPL can be carbon neutral for less than $500,000. This is absolutely awesome. Whoever did these calculations, this is great stuff here. Compare these numbers to BTC network. Almost 3 billion trees would need to be planted at the current network hash rate. As of November 2nd, 2018, the XRP community has generously donated enough XRP and cash to plant 1,071 trees through the XRP Tree Project being led by Wandering Where. There's still a long way to go, and you can help. At Wandering Where accepts XRP donations, convert them to fiat, and forwards the money to One Tree Planted. Additionally, you can donate directly to One Tree Planted using the XRP Tree Project page located here. The XRPO could be the first carbon neutral blockchain DLT network in existence and would prove to the world that those involved with XRP are not only concerned about the financial health of the world, but that they are also concerned about the world's environmental health. So by supporting XRP, you're supporting an eco-friendly asset in comparison to like Bitcoin or Ethereum. So that's something that's super, super important. I think this is for me personally, this is one of the biggest factors that really draws me to XRP is its, eco-friendliness. And especially if it becomes carbon neutral altogether, that would just be absolutely amazing. The potential impact of the XRP Tree Project could send ripples to an industry that is currently being looked at as a looming environmental disaster. Instead of being drained on environmental resources, the XRPO and the community that supports it would be viewed as the standard bearer for environmental sustainability in an age of technological advancement. The XRP community can prove that this exciting and innovative technology can also be environmentally sustainable. The XRP community has encouraged Ripple and those who operate validators on the network to participate in this project and has stated that a donation to One Tree Planted could ensure the carbon neutrality of the XRPO for generations to come. This is absolutely great stuff here. I will be donating to this channel as when I get the opportunity. I definitely want to support this cause as well. I think it's very, very important because global warming, climate change is a very serious problem, and we need to invest in technologies that help either stave it off or just not contributing to the problem altogether. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.